Hello and welcome to another AIC video. Today is just going to be a real quick video. I saw a post on the 1911 subreddit a few days ago about a guy who wanted to modify his 9mm 1911 to be able to be a 45. Now, when I first read that, I thought there's no way you'd do that because it'd be either A, impossible, or B, way too expensive. But instead of just having my automatic gut reaction, I thought I'd actually take a look at my 1911, since I happen to have one that is in 45 and one that is in 9mm. And these guns are about as close as two guns can be. They're both made by Armscor. This just happens to be a Rock Island. This is a Citadel. This is the Toyota Matrix, and this is a Pontiac Vibe. They're the same vehicle, just slightly different names and badges on there. Both come out of the same factory, basically. So, like I said, I want to go through a few of the differences and then kind of give my opinion on if you'd actually want to do this or if you would just spend more money than you would buying a replacement gun. So anyways, taking a look on here. First thing, we'll look at the slides. They're very, very similar. They both slide onto each frame up until where they hit the extractor, or not the extractor, the ejector. So I'm going to mix those two up because they end up doing the same thing. Anyways, they slide on, but the biggest difference is where the casing actually rests up against where the firing pin is. I don't know if this has an official name there, but I guess the block, but whatever. On the 9mm, obviously it's narrower here, and this opening is narrower because it's a smaller casing than a 45, and that probably could be machined. The extractor does sit further inward, it looks like, and so I think you probably just replace a spring or something like that, and you probably even use that same extractor and just machine this opening wider. But if you're going to go that far, it'd probably end up being cheaper just to buy a different slide that actually fits correctly. Barrels, we'll look at those next. Obviously, you'd have to get a new barrel since a 9mm is significantly smaller than a 45. So you'd have to get a new barrel. Biggest thing you'll notice on these is the feed ramps. The 9mm has this really big extended feed ramp compared to the 45 just has this lip here. And that plays a bigger important factor in the frames, which we'll go to that in just a second. But otherwise, they are the same. So just take the 45, put it into the 9mm, and it doesn't go back, obviously, because this is too narrow here. So that's where you would have to have a machining done or a new slide. All right, next thing we're going to look at is the magazine. So we have a 45. This is the frame for the 9mm, and it does fit. So you can use this frame as far as the magazine well. You won't have to do any modifications there. And then obviously the 9mm has no problems in the 45. All right, so the next thing we're going to look at is the frame itself. The ejector, obviously you'd have to replace the ejector. They're in a different location, and the 9mm is longer. See that there? And then the big thing that I noticed is here, I believe these are forged parts, and so you'd have to add a lot of material to the 9mm to have it match the 45. And I just don't know if that's something I'd be willing to do and trust and have it be reliable. You'd have to have somebody who really knows what they're doing to add the material, have it not be a fail point, and have it be something that would actually feed the rounds into the chamber. So that's a lot of effort for the frame. Personally, looking at this, you're going to have to buy a new barrel. You're going to have to buy a new recoil spring. You're going to have to probably buy a new slide, and you're going to have to do a lot of machining to the frame to add the material, and then you know, have it be a feed ramp that's reliable and not causes jams, other failure to feed issues. So I don't know, it's not something I personally would do. It's something I would avoid doing. I would just buy the correct caliber that I wanted in the firearm. I mean, that's what I did. I wanted a 9mm because it's just pre-COVID was cheaper to fire 9mm, still is. It's also easier to get ammo for a 9mm than it's been to get for a 45. So That's why I wanted a 9mm, just so I could have one that was I could get ammo for more easily and cheaper. So anyways, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, leave those down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer. Thank you for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.